Hey everyone, Skull902 here for another part of Sonic Mania. This is part 4, and we're going to be going through Flying Battery Zone from Sonic and Knuckles. Holy motherfucking shit. So, trying to explain all the references in Studiopolis Zone last time, I didn't quite get a whole lot of opportunity to explain the boss. Plus, I was cheesing it as Supersonic anyway, so I think the Studiopolis boss could use a little explaining. So I'm going to do that right here at the beginning. The Studiopolis boss works. It's like a Clucker, which is actually appropriate enough because we'll be seeing Clucker in Flying Battery here. Same hidden extra life. As in 3 Knuckles as well. But anyway, it's a Clucker predicting the weather. We saw the wind advisory, or the wind warning or whatever, where like Sonic is blown up, or well, not explosively blown up, but blown up by wind jets, and there's a bit of spikes on the ceiling. You gotta time your hit on Robotnik correctly and whatnot. There's also a sunny sort of attack that the machine can do, which is also another reference, a really fucking obscure one, by the way, but I'll get to that in another video, where like these it's almost like cooking lamps or something come about, and Robotnik goes under one of them, and you gotta follow him along so that you can hit him a bunch of times and whatnot. And then there's also a thunderstorm one as well, where like some clouds will show up and try to shock you, and you gotta avoid them while again trying to get to and hit Robotnik. So that's a bit of a thing. That's the Studiopolis main boss, and I thought that it deserved some explaining because it's one of the bosses actually that I quite like in this game. So that's it's a bit of a thing. I should have given him more time to shine, and that can be said for a lot of bosses. Because intentionally or otherwise, I do tend to cheese bosses as Supersonic, and so don't get a whole lot of time to really show them or their patterns off. But something I am going to be showing off is the Starposts. This is something I'm showing off twice, and both times will be in this video. But when you go through the Starposts, or when you go through the checkpoints rather, and the stars show up, you get Blue Sphere, which I think was pretty nice. And basically, Blue Sphere is it serves a purpose for like achievements. They put in a shit ton of stages of Blue Sphere in this, and like you earn medals by doing the stages. You'll be seeing with both of these, I do win both of them. If you just do it normally, you get a silver medal like this. If you get the perfect, which is to say that you get all the available rings in such Blue Sphere stages rather, you get a gold medal, and both of those, getting all the silver medals and getting all the gold medals. I was pissed off here, but getting all the medals either way is an achievement. So that's pretty cool. What I was trying to do here was, you can only do it if you have that electric shield, but there's a special stage ring across there, so I would have been able to get 2 in quick succession. It sucks, but that's how things work out sometimes. And here we can see that Flying Battery is being used as sort of like a dumping ground for old Badnik parts. In some of them you can actually see the parts of an unused Badnik from Sonic 1, Splats. Splats is like a bouncing robot. Sorry, he is a robot, but Splats is a bouncing rabbit Badnik. You can see him there amongst the Motobugs and other such things, the monitors and Eggman signs. So that's a pretty cool reference. The mini-boss here will try to crush you from the sides, and it will spit non-functional Orbinauts at you. So, there you go. Fun gimmick for a boss fight. With Supersonic, again, it's a really easy thing to take care of because you can jump a lot higher than normal Sonic, so, you know, that's a thing. With Supersonic, something I wanted to mention is this was something taken from another ROM hack, actually, Sonic 3 Complete. Originally, transforming into Supersonic worked in such a way that it was the same as 3 and Knuckles. You had to double press the A button in order to make Sonic transform. But people complained because I guess, like, you know, when you're trying to do the drop dash or whatever, it's a little annoying. I never had a problem with the way 3 and Knuckles did it. I quite like it like that, but I can see for people who just wanted to use the Insta Shield in Sonic 3 or the drop dash in Mania, like, why that would be a problem. So they changed it, much like Sonic 3 Complete did. They changed it to be like a different button after you jump. It's the W key because I am using a keyboard. I prefer playing classic Sonic with a keyboard, but on PlayStation it would be the triangle button, on Xbox it would be the Y button, and on Switch it would be the X button. So there you go, a bit of a caveat, or rather a way to make the Supersonic transformation just a little bit more optional. So, good stuff, good stuff. So, Act 2 of Flying Battery here takes after Wing Fortress Zone quite a bit. It's you know, it's like Flying Battery Zone mixed with Wing Fortress, which is pretty cool. You got the cluckers, like I mentioned earlier. You got the spinning air platforms that, you know, shoot Sonic up and whatnot. Plus all of Flying Battery's familiar gimmicks, which I think is pretty cool. Unfortunately, now I can't make it up to this top path. So this is a thing with my Mania gameplay. I've taken a notice to, is that throughout my sort of adventure here, I seem to take paths that I have no familiarity with. Like I don't know what the Let's Play curse was trying to do to me here, but it's trying to screw me over a little bit with you know, it's sending me on paths that I didn't quite know how to navigate. So this is like the very bottom path of Flying Battery Act 2, and I really did not know what I was doing around here. So if I seem a little lost, there you go. Here's another Blue Sphere stage, and this is the last one that I go through in the playthrough. Missed out on a perfect because I tried you know, going through it as quickly as possible, and then I decided, oh shit, I'm gonna go get the perfect, but stupid old me didn't realize. But I think it's a cool thing that they put this in there, and I remember originally when I was really not into the normal special stages, I griped that these should have been the special stages instead. But I understand that they did do different special stages for all the other classic Sonics, so you know, this isn't Sonic 4 Episode 3. They weren't just gonna rehash it for the special stages. Now, like, with Blue Sphere, when you get all of the gold medals, and this is something that they put in after the Mania Plus update, the Starposts, I'm gonna keep calling them that even though it's not really correct, the checkpoints with the stars, whatever, fuck you, there's gonna be a different minigame, and I'll show that off in an extra video, of course, because there's no goddamn way I'm gonna be able to get all gold medals to show that off. Plus, that would make this an incredibly boring playthrough. There is a new sort of bonus game, and I think that's cool because apparently people had a problem with Blue Sphere. Like, people who had all the gold medals were like, well, why does it keep giving me Blue Sphere? I did all of these. So it's a much more helpful, I would say, sort of mini game that they give you. Here we see some guys from Mushroom Hill Zone actually controlling the. You know, there's like a few elements here actually. These dudes are from Mushroom Hill. The electric things are from Wacky Workbench, and this zone is Flying Battery, of course. But some of the elements in this act take after Wing Fortress. So it's like a mishmash of like 3 different games. I noticed. That's pretty cool. Another criticism of the game that I'm gonna mention as we get to the boss is, you know, with this being a game for systems and, you know, PC, like, technology has obviously increased quite a bit. So the levels in Sonic Mania are much more expansive as a result. But they still put in the 10-minute time limit, and before they patched it into where you could edit that in save files, it wasn't, like, editable before. And, you know, I'd say with this, of all the classic Sonics, Mania is the one where you can really run the risk of getting a time over the most. And that definitely screws with people, especially with Flying Battery here. Some people, me included, at first had some trouble figuring out what you're supposed to do with this boss. But basically what you're supposed to do here is you go on these poles and you hit the direction that you need to swing in order to hit them into those spikes. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty good. There are spikes on the side that try to crush you that you can also hit them into, but it's much easier to do with Super Sonic. He'll also shoot some laser balls at you and everything like that. Again, it's one of those boss battles I'm not terribly fond of, but, you know, whatever. There's another element to that boss fight that I'm going to mention in the extra video that I think is pretty funny, but that's it for now. I'll see you guys in Press Garden next time. I have been Skull902. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day.